Hey, hello, welcome. Welcome back to the project. I know it's been 2 months. It's been crazy. But last month I was actually on vacation in Italy. Partially for vacation for fun, hottest time during the Italian summer, 98 like every day of that week. But I'll put photos up. I went to the Colosseum. I went to St. Peter's Basilica, Ostia Beach, and ultimately finished the journey in Pompeii. So it was very fun, a lot to learn, a lot to go over, but a lot of the buildings and architecture still surviving from Pompeii will be used in the project. I definitely will be modeling a lot more buildings after what still exists there. So that was a great experience. On to the updates for the game. So there's about 7 updates roughly. So the first one is a pause menu. So the pause menu, you can pause the game and walk off, use the bathroom, do some dishes, go out and get groceries, come back, and then resume the game. So that's what the resume does. You could save the game, you can load it, and then, or load the last save, and then you can quit the game slash exit, and it'll push you to the main menu. For the main menu part, that I want to kind of say it's a semi-update. Uh, the main menu existed since probably Devlog 1. I don't exactly remember when I added it exactly, but I know it existed for quite a while, and it hasn't really been a need to really update it or do anything with it because, well, it would just load you into the test scene. And every time you load into the test scene, why go through something like the main menu to load into the test scene if nothing's being saved? Might as well just directly load into the test scene, right? So that was before, but now since you can load into prior saves or a prior save, then you could start up the game, go in regular, exit out, and if you want to, after you save the game, you could load it from the main menu or just exit out of the application altogether from the main menu. So it has a use now, better use. So yeah. When it comes to the save and load system, so you can save the game from the pause menu. It's not finished right now completely, so there's going to be expansion on the saves you can have. Right now it operates off of one save that's located in the game, and if you save to it once, then you're good. You can load into that information at any point you want, even from the main menu. However, if you save again, it'll save over the prior, and all the progress and game data from there will be lost. So I will be working on that to add multiple saves that you can access from the main menu and from the pause menu to look through and choose which one you want to go through again, right? For the next update is the apartment update. With the apartment update, the player is able to, at the moment, walk up to the specific apartment building, access it for the first week, and store items, sleep, and exit. Nothing really changes about how the player will operate. Time will still pass. The stats will still decrease. Everything's essentially the same, but you're in a different scene at that moment. By the end of the week, you'll have to pay a certain amount to stay in. If you can't pay it, then you'll be sleeping on the streets. Nothing really changes about that. That's just how it's going to be. An update in the future will come where I will separate it and have a landlord that the player will have to speak to negotiate actual pay for each week, and the building will just be a building that's locked when it's locked and unlocked when the player is able to pay or already paid. One of the more exciting updates for me personally was the chess update. After a lot of learning, a lot of trial, tribulation, I was able to implement a chest system in the test scene and in the apartment. So now the player can leave items in their apartment and later come back from a different scene and grab items. Maybe it's leftover food for breakfast or for dinner or etc. You fall on hard times and you have stored food, etc. So now I'm excited for that, and it saves to the game data, as well as when you save the game and you come back later. It took a long time for me to figure that out, but now your items in your chest save with the game. So you don't have to worry about, working 3 days in a row, saving up enough money to have a backlog of food that's perfect. And if you fall on hard times, you have food that you can rely on. Now it's still there. It's not despawned. One of the more exciting updates for me as well was the business update. So now the player is able to walk up to the business NPC talk to them about buying a business. These businesses, of course, are off-map businesses for the moment, and when you purchase them, it will have a time before it becomes operational. So once you purchase a business, you'll be able to go to the owned business tabs, and you'll be able to look at it, and it'll tell you how long it takes for it to become operational. Now, out of the 3 businesses you have to purchase, there's the bakery, there's the blacksmith, and there is the farm. With the blacksmith, it makes the most, but it costs the most, and the farm costs the least, but makes the least. When it comes to upgrading them and going through in the own tab, once you have a certain amount or multiple of different ones, you can scroll through them, access them, you can upgrade them. With all of them, they have the 3 basic upgrades that do not apply to each other. So if you pick a certain farm and upgrade the staff, it will not apply to another farm or a blacksmith. These are for individual businesses. Once you upgrade it, it will be for that specific one. And for the last update worth mentioning is the gambling update. To make it very clear, before anything else is said, you will not be able to gamble real world money at any point. That will never be in the works. It's not gonna happen, right? You can only use in-game currency that you worked a day for or that your business has made. That is it. There will be no real money you can use. Now, with that out of the way, the reason I am adding gambling to the game as a mechanic is because the Romans gambled. They were very superstitious. They would put bets on plenty of things, and so one of the more formal ways that they would gamble was cards, for instance, or small games, or sports. Sports being a huge one, and the sports betting being one of the more professional ones in the ancient world actually helped fund different things. So you'll be able to walk up to the NPC, you'll be able to talk to them, you'll be greeted, and then you could choose events that you want to bet on. With these betting options, you can choose an athlete that you would like to bet on. If it's at the very top, they are probably the reigning champion, for instance, or the more favored to win, right? If they're more favored to win at the very top, then that means that the return that you're going to get is going to be less than if you gamble on someone who is lower than them. While the trade-off is you could choose the more reliable winner, potentially, and get money out of it, or you could take the chance and make a lot more money from that. Now, the max amount of money you'll be able to gamble for the game is 50 denarii, so about 2 days work in game you'll be able to, is the max to gamble, right? And I don't suggest you use that as your formal way of making money, because trust me, going a few days in game not eating or paying rent is not a wise decision, but definitely felt. Well, that is all the updates we have for this devlog on last month and this month's work. I hope you all enjoyed it. Remember, like, subscribe, and leave a comment if there are any parts you specifically liked, anything you want to see, or anything you disliked. Thank you for your time.